Hello, Dr. Jacobus. We are Group 7. I am Emily Wagner.
Justin Hall.
John Rivers.
Grayson Morrison.
And we decided to do our project on the rap song Mercy by Kanye West, Big Sean, Pusha T, and 2 Chainz.
Yes.
And so let's begin.
Well, it is a weeping in the morning and a natural thief. It is a weeping in the morning and a natural thief. It is a when it comes to the mic sound, which is the champion sound.
Okay, this rhythm is so prominent, but the hook makes no sense. Let me tell you about the timbre. So what? There's only 3 instruments. You got the bass drum and the snare drum that makes you dance and go down, while the keyboard has a melody that makes you shake your booty. A meter of 4 in it, harmony you don't hear it.
Melody with no cadence, like the song will never finish. Monophonic sound, so the texture is so basic. No form in this song, there's nowhere to place it. Dynamics have a flat line of bass for vibrations, while the voices in the song show a point of imitation. There's not many elements in this song, as you can see, which gets me all frustrated
and makes me scream for mercy. So that was the first part of the rap song. It's divided into 2 portions because one is half as fast as the other. And here we have a picture of a white Lamborghini because it represents that the first part of the song is relatively simple, and but it's still very stylistic and sleek, just like a Lamborghini, which they talk about. So for the elements of the first part of this song, the rhythm is very driving and steady, which is very characteristic of rap songs of this modern era. And of course, the timbre is all electronic instruments, but the primary ones that are featured in this song are the bass drum, the snare drum, and the keyboard.
Okay, as stated in the first verse, there's very little harmony. The harmony that is there is considered consonants because it keeps heavily repeating one note after another, accent after accent, just heavy repetition from one verse to the next verse. The melody has a point of imitation, and how and the short range, it really doesn't deviate between those ranges. The voices in the song, they really don't they're pretty much like talking during the song. That's pretty much what rap is when it comes to text and voice and vocals. So
the dynamics in the song are very steady. That's because the first part of this song is really just building up to make the second part sound more dramatic through contrast. So it just is completely flatline. And so that brings me to the texture, which is very monophonic. Again, to provide a contrast to the second part of the song. In this part, you can only hear the voice and the keyboard, which is doing a repeated melody.
Okay, the form of the song is rap, of course. It's not really considered a form. That's why in the actual verse I stated that there is no form for it. There's nowhere to place it. But it does have an AABB rhyme scheme that you couldn't listen to in the actual piece.
Comes to my sound, which is the champion sound. The bugle that blows me many times, and it's still a one more time.
Let the suicide doors up. I do suicides on the tour bus.
Can you hear the tempo change?
The speed makes you want to go insane.
It gets louder as dynamics take the stage, but the melody never ever changes range. And now that the rhythm is twice as fast, I feel a need to lose all sense of class. To think that music all started with plain chance. This text would make even Mozart crap his pants. The timbre is piercing, dark, and sometimes flat. Rhythm has rolling motion and many accents. There's still no cadence and the song just won't quit. Looking for harmony but still can't find it. If this was used back in the Baroque period, the church would have had all these guys castrated. But this is music today, as you can see. So when the beat drops, you will scream for mercy.
Alright. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of our rap. We put up a black Lambo up here because it is very dark and it looked very intense, and the second part of this song is very dark and intense. Alright, the first element is rhythm. The tempo is twice as fast as part 1, and the keyboard becomes the major source. The dynamics are a lot louder, and it adds to the intensity. And then the melody has a lot wider range and still has the points of imitation.
The text, much like the first verse, still has a rhyme scheme of AABB, and just like the first verse, it's still raunchy and broken up, very choppy. The timbre, still more electronic keyboard and the electronic sounds, and the harmony is very different from the first one. It contrasts the first verse, which we consider dissonant.
So overall, the song Mercy represents a newer genre of music that uses vocal and electronic elements to emphasize a repeated rhythm over melody and features a flat dynamic. This is vastly different from the polite classical music or melodic romantic music that defines earlier time periods. Composers started to dramatically change musical styles around the 20th century and are currently evolving at a faster rate than earlier time periods. So who knows where music is going to be in the future? This is even dramatically different from a lot of other popular songs that are out on the radio today. And what else do you guys have to say?
There's just going to be more music made like this.
This is music of today, as you can see. So when the beat drops, you will scream for mercy. And thank you for a very interesting and very informational music class this semester. I learned a lot, and it helped me better my craft at writing music. And I hope to continue down the path that I'm on to become a better musician and a better writer. And thanks for everything.
Group 7, thank you.
Thank you.
Say yay, don't we do this every day? I worked them long nights to get a payday. Finally got paid, now I need shade and